it hasn't been the economic miracle, the economic sensation that people thought it was going to be. But at the same time, it hasn't been the nightmare that a lot of us skeptics and critics thought it would be.
Obviously, Colorado was one of the first to legalize recreational use, but you were opposed to it. Why?
Well, I was worried that if we legalize it, we would be accepting some unintended consequences. So what about kids? If they see the adults legalizing, are they going to be more likely to think it's safe? And a lot of the top neuroscientists say that when your brain's still growing, when you're a teenager, this high THC marijuana has the probability, not just the possibility, but the probability of reducing your long-term memory. So I think it's been that was a concern. Would there be a spike in people smoking pot? Would businesses not want to move to Colorado? I mean, I just saw it as, let's let some other states do it, right?
Right. So it's been a year now. Any surprises? Any of those predictions or assumptions that you had, did any of them come true?
Yeah, I think what's interesting, it hasn't been the economic miracle, the economic sensation that people thought it was going to be. But at the same time, it hasn't been the nightmare that a lot of us skeptics and critics thought it would be. I think it's a lot of hard work to create a regulatory system from scratch, and we are just, I think, creating something where we're trying to tax it at a level so we get rid of the black market, because we know drug dealers, they'll sell to anybody, right? So we're trying to get that market gone and really trying to focus on, if we have, we'll probably get about $75 million this fiscal year. Our fiscal year ends at June 30th, but let's say $75 million, and we want to make sure that we use that money if there's a spike in addictions, if this is a gateway drug, if we have to make sure our roads are safe, make sure we regulate edibles and things that look like candy. So we're trying to make sure that the money isn't just used for feel good, let's get early childhood education, let's do this or let's do that. We're really trying to segregate the money and use it to make sure that we don't have unintended consequences.
$75 million doesn't seem like a lot of money.
It's not. We'll probably have 100 this year, 110, but you're right. That's not. Our general fund is $10 billion. If you include all the federal pass-throughs and fees that people pay, we're probably up to $25 billion as a total state budget. $100 million or $120 million, that's not a huge amount of money. You should never, and I've said this to all the other governors, you should never do it for the money, right? You should do it because, we regulate too many things, I think it's fair to say, and marijuana was, again, one I didn't want to legalize. But now that we've done it, if we can actually make it and regulate it in such a way that we really do get rid of drug dealers and people obey the law, all of our studies seem to indicate that the people that were smoking it still are, and the people that didn't used to smoke it still don't, right? So the difference is the people who are smoking it pay taxes.
Have you changed your mind at all that legalizing recreational use is a good idea?
I think I have changed. I mean, I'm still in the process. I haven't made up my mind. But if you'd asked me, the day after the voters changed our Constitution to legalize marijuana, if you'd asked me if I had magic pixie dust and I could, magically change that, I would have done it. Now, if we can actually create a regulatory system that works, now I wouldn't be quite so quick to go back. I'd say let's give it another year or two and see if we can make a regulatory system that really, keeps the bad guys out, keeps the pot away from kids, make sure the roads and highways are safe, and that we have resources, not just for regulation, but to take care of the problems that get created along the way.